I'm Candice Johnson, and I am the Wallflower Observer, and I'm sitting here with Elise and Ryan, DJ Ha, and we are talking about Highnotehollow and all of the upcoming events and the new venue that you all should come visit. So, let's start with just hearing about Highnotehollow.
Okay. Yeah, Highnotehollow is a house in Germantown, and we are currently making it new again. And I've had it for a couple years, and I bought it with the intention of having house shows similar to the ones that go on in West Philly and South Philly. Um, and then COVID happened, so we can't really do that. So now we're kind of altering, and we're having our events outside. Um, it's an old home. It's like 120 years old. It has actually a history of music. The last family was a ministry family, and every child, there were 7 kids, and they were all musicians. The parents were also musicians.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah, so the house has like a deep history of like art and music, even from the first owner back in 1895 when it was built. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell me more about the location, like for when people are coming to your events.
so we're just off of Germantown Ave in Germantown, so it's pretty easy to take a bus here. Parking is pretty easy if you compare it to the rest of Philadelphia. We're almost like a suburb out here, even though we're still in Philly.
It's about 2 blocks from the old Germantown High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of trains. I think that they just are starting to resume service now.
Okay.
So the trains are going to start running again out here, the regional rails.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, so there's access, bus, train. I think buses seem to be more accessible
Yeah.
than a train.
I grew up. I was born in Germantown, so I grew up
Okay.
around this area. So it's actually really cool that you guys are located here because I do think it's like an up and coming area, and the house is bomb. So you guys are gonna be really excited too.
The area
see
is
it.
amazing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
cool.
beautiful out here, and there's like a really deep, rich culture
Yeah.
of community and art and music and coffee.
I know when I was coming here, I was like, this is like a shopping area. I got really excited because it's been on the come up for a while now, so
It
it's
has.
cool. Yeah.
It has, and it's changing quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, which sometimes isn't always the best thing, but I feel like for Germantown, it's a quality thing that's happening.
There's a lot of talk about gentrification and like controlling it and making sure that it doesn't get out of hand, and I want to participate in that conversation as much as possible, even like within what we're doing. Like I want to support the local community here and have people from the local community have events and perform and contribute to what we're building here.
Well, that's why I'm excited to like partner with you guys because community is really important to me as well,
Yeah.
and I think that that's something that in Philadelphia in general needs to be taken advantage of more. I think that it's awesome that there's all these different venues, but a lot of them are more about like ticket sales than being about community. So it's exciting that you guys have this here now.
Yeah.
What kind of events have you guys done already?
A variety of things. I mean, let's see, jazzy big band stuff like Chelsea Reed and Drew Nugent. I do front of house for Swift Technique, and they came here and did a video shoot. They're a fantastic funk band from here in Philly.
Yeah, I love
DJ live streams and little small acoustic live streams here in our studio. There's just been like a whole bunch of people that have come through that have seen the space, not like big huge events, but we had some small safe outdoor events with limited capacity ticket sales and masks and everything, and they were all great. Everybody seems to love the space. They really like it. The neighbors love it. And everybody that comes in seems to think it's, pretty magical. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's like your house. It's like very inviting.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being like this like corporate looking fancy building, it's like more inviting to come and it's more welcoming in general. What kind of precautions are you guys taking now that the pandemic has happened?
So there's definitely going to be. I mean, first of all, we're only doing outdoor events.
Yeah.
We are only going to do about half capacity events, and masks are always going to be, demanded, if not encouraged, and within reason. We do have food vendors and alcohol vendors. So, but outside of that, we are going to encourage everyone to still maintain social distancing protocols and wear a mask, even though it's an outdoor event, with lower capacity. That's a big concern of ours. We don't want anybody coming here if they don't feel safe and welcome. So.
Yeah, and we're observing like the city ordinances of whatever they have deemed as safe for now, so we're not going to exceed that. And I have like a smoking section set up, and we can set up a separate place for people to eat, just so if masks do have to come off, people can be separate from the crowd.
And so, and this is something I'll be helping you guys with too, but what other services will you be offering as well through Highnotehollow, other than just the outdoor events?
Well, yeah,
I saw the Kate dressed up, and that was really cool.
Yeah. One thing we were discussing we have events starting in early April. Once again, all outdoor events, and that promoter that we're working with actually is going to help us organize a potential on-site vaccination.
Oh, that's cool.
So what we'll do is
with a nonprofit.
Yeah, with a nonprofit organization that provides free vaccinations, and we would probably make a day, an all-day event out of it, where it's a couple hours of window to come get vaccinated, and you can leave or you can stay and pay for the ticketed performance, whatever that may be. We're not exactly sure what that is going to be, but that's a formula we would like to start implementing if that can become a regular thing. We like working with nonprofits. We like working with different charities. And so we just feel that's an important thing to do in order to give back to the community. As we organize these events. Once again, try to make everybody feel safe and
I mean, I would love to incorporate more things like that. I've tried to reach out to a few animal rescues to have an adoption day, and we could have an adoption day with a concert, so we can kind of have community and have support for our musicians locally at the same time. Doing kind of coupling things together like that.
Okay, that's awesome. So if you guys know anybody who have some outreach, contact Highnotehollow. You can also contact the Wallflower Observer, because I'm also all about that. But that's really awesome of you guys. And I guess what upcoming events do you guys have coming up other than the?
So first week in April is going to be our first ticketed event of the season, I guess we'll call it. Until then, we have a couple of live streams that are going to happen that are just kind of the normal routine we do. I do a weekly DJ live stream. I'll spin anything from house music and drum and bass to hip-hop and dubstep, whatever I feel like playing, depending on my guest. So we'll do a couple of those. That happens usually every Saturday night. And then next Saturday, actually, every month we have an effigy, sort of a a burner-friendly kind of thing. So we'll have a couple of fire spinners. We'll have a small effigy that we plan, a small musical performance in addition to that. And that's a very private ticketed event. We do sell tickets to that, but we only allow about 20 to 30 people, and that's it.
Okay.
It's cool. It's a cool idea. I mean, especially with the weather changing, I think people will be excited about that.
Yeah, we'll do that once a month.
Yeah. But you also have a streaming setup, or not? I shouldn't say streaming, but you have a recording setup. Yeah. So can you tell us more about that?
Sure.
I mean, I've been for who don't know me, I've been in music production for years. So I've done everything from worked as a backline tech on the Letterman show, and done a bunch of events with Stevie Wonder, Alicia Keys, Kanye, Jay-Z, all sorts of I got all sorts of rock stars I could talk about. But outside of that, I've built up my reputation as a sound engineer, and I've gotten more into we're both getting more into photography and videography. So all of those things makes it a good formula for Elise and I to come together. She's got this beautiful space here, and then I have a whole bunch of equipment for digital recording, whether it's audio, video, and then backline for rentals and live sound and anything you can imagine. We can provide a bunch of services here, whether it's a live stream or a video shoot or a photo shoot.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, and I think especially with everything that's happened, a lot of artists are trying to get themselves out there again. So it's cool that you guys offer those services for people who are pretty much stuck at home and they've been trying to work on their artwork, but don't really have the means to like put themselves on the internet, which is how everything is nowadays.
It's a lot to do by yourself. You're
Yeah.
performing, you're doing the tech, it's kind of overwhelming for some people to play all the roles in producing videos and whatnot to go on the internet.
Yeah.
So if you're just
Yeah.
used to performing and that's what you do, now all this other tech stuff can be super overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we
So we
provide.
can do it.
We definitely pride ourselves on awareness of both sides because we know what it's like to be on stage and we know what it's like to produce events behind the scenes on some big scales. So, you know, we know how to make artists feel comfortable, what the consumer should see and how it should look and
Right.
sound and feel like to the audience, and you know, and just making sure everybody's happy from the audience to the promoters to the talent to, you know, the
Yeah.
community in general. Once again, we're trying to find different ways
Right.
to benefit everyone.
Yeah, and like the arts community is a part of that community. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a community all its
Right.
own. So that's also just you guys being really helpful there as well. Um, I had a question for you and it totally just slipped my mind. Let me see what else I got going on here. Well, is there anything else you guys want to tell us about with Highnotehollow? What to look forward to? What people? How to get information for you guys if they are trying to get
Oh, yeah.
recording?
Mhm.
Well, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok.
Ooh.
Although we're still figuring
I'm
TikTok
jealous.
out.
I'm scared of TikTok, and I
I'm
love
too
to
old.
dance,
I
but
know.
I was like, there's a lot happening.
TikTok is a lot. TikTok is overwhelming, but
We do have a YouTube channel too, and we're slowly
Right, we're on
putting some
YouTube.
content up on YouTube as well.
But maybe we'll find like a youngin who can school us in the TikToking.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like I'd be great at TikTok, but I'm also impatient. I like tried to start a Twitter, and I was just like, no, 'cause it was too much. I don't want to like invest the time. I'm like, my Instagram is pretty good.
Right.
But TikTok's pretty cool. It is on like the come up. I guess it's like the new thing. So that's cool that you guys have that. And you can also you can contact the Wallflower Observer. I'll be assisting them with bringing in the arts community and helping them with the events that are all going to be coming up. So feel free to reach out to any of us, and we hope to see you all soon at the Highnotehollow.
Thank you very much.
Bye.